guys, welcome to the course of Level 8 API Development Tutorial. This is our part number 39. Inside this video, we will see Create Profile API. If I back to editor, so in the last video, we had discussed Register API and Login API. So one more thing inside this Login API, that is, we have requested this valid user detail and successfully we have generated this access token. It means JWT token. So if I will copy this token, what we had done inside last video, go inside this JWT IO, paste it inside this encoded section, and as we know, this token consists of three sections, that is header, payload and signature. Inside each section we have different types of information. Like inside this header we have type and algorithm type. Inside this payload we have all these details. Now one more thing, that inside this payload we have a exp value. Exp indicates expiration value. This is the timestamp value which indicates that this token value is valid up to this timestamp value. But in case, if suppose we want to customize, if we want to actually add more time inside this expiration value, so how can we customize this expiration value as well as this algorithm type? So as we know inside previous video, when we had done the installation of JWT package inside this setup, also we have published a JWT config file. That file had stored inside this config folder and inside this jwt.php file. So this is the file which is going to configure our JWT configuration for this setup. Inside this file, if I scroll down, here we can see that this is secret and it is accessing all about our env JWT secret value. Go inside this keys array, scroll down, and here we can see that we have a section called JWT time to live. It means here we can set the expiration value. The 60 indicates that we have in minutes. So by default, any token will generate its value for 1 hour. But when we want to customize, we want to add our own time, simply we can change here the TTL value. And when we want to change the algorithm type, so if I scroll down, here we can see that we have a key called algo. So simply we can pass our own algorithm type right here inside this env. Otherwise by default it will pick HS256. So how can we find the other algorithm types? Simply inside this jwt.php file, here we have the documentation link. The documentation links pointing towards a GitHub repository. Simply copy, go and search, you will find all other algorithm types. So by the help of this JWT config file, simply we can configure and change the default behavior and the value of JWT. So now let's start all about Profile API. So simply by the help of Profile API, we want to access the user information which is currently logged in. And one more thing, that this Profile API or profile route is protected from middleware called API. And one more thing, actually we forgot to add, that is something auth : API. So we need to add auth : otherwise it will not work as expected. So let's go inside this user controller, inside this profile method, and also we had discussed all about Profile API inside our Sanctum section, means inside API development phase 2. As we had discussed inside that video as well, that is, if we want to get the user data, simply we need to use auth helper function, and here we have a user method. So by the help of this auth helper function user method, we will return all about logged in user profile information. Now this time we have all the user information inside this user data variable. So simply what I will do, return, let's say response. We will use JSON method passing an array let's say status equals to 1, message equal to, let's say logged in. It's not logged in, it is user profile data, and inside this we will take a data key, data, and we will pass the variable as user underscore data. Now if we save all these changes, go inside this Postman, copy this URL, open into a new tab. This time profile API is of get request type, so it is get request type. Here inside these headers, let's say that content type application JSON accept application JSON. Now as we can see that inside this profile API, get request is okay, but we are not passing any token. So let's see that what is that actually we will get. Click on send button, and as we can see that unauthenticated, and this is because we have added auth API as a middleware. So this middleware is checking all about the token value. It means a valid token value. Back to Postman, go here, copy this token value. This is of 60 minutes expiration time. Go here, let's authorization, passing bearer, making a space and pasting that token. Now if I click on send button, and as we can see that user profile data. One more time, if I uncheck that key, click on send button, unauthenticated. So to access the user profile data, we need to pass a valid token value. Click on send button, and as we can see that we are getting the user information. So when we want the user ID, simply we need to do the same concept, something like auth user, and we need to use the ID property. So by putting this auth user ID, we can access the user ID value. So this concept we will use inside this course controller methods, where we need user ID. So inside next video guys, we will discuss all about this logout API. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.